Hey guys, what's up? It's Heather with the Mosco, and today, this is super unsightly, but today we are going to organize where we keep all the garden supplies. So I don't know about y'all, but I've got spring fever super bad. I'm gonna put out my spring crops today, and I'll make a video about that as well. But we gotta do something about this hot mess if we're gonna expect to get anything done this season. So we're just gonna start tearing through it. This garage is kind of the catch-all of the entire house. It is always a hot mess. Ay. I'm just looking around. It's a nice big garage. We don't actually sometimes we keep a car in here, we keep the tractor in here, and then all the things. Like, I'm looking at an umbrella that we have not once used. So maybe I need to get rid of that. So anyhow, we're just gonna start tearing it apart and putting it back together, just this one area, because I know you can see all of that over there. We also have a fairly large saltwater fish tank, so we've got a bunch of water silos, if you will, for all that. None of that. We're just gonna organize the gardening stuff. So don't judge me. It's a hot mess, but let's get started. I forgot to say that basically the game plan is pull it all out, sort it into piles, and then put it back. That's kind of how I organize everything. I put up a video a year ago about how I organize my pantry. I'm not buying anything to organize this. I just want to kind of put it together. So you'll just get a montage of all the things being pulled out and then put back together, and then we'll take a tour of it together. So, cue montage. Alrighty, so I've pretty well got it all laid out. Let me show you what we're working with. Also, Jason came down here and was getting ready to go to work, and he said that he's gonna put a pegboard up in this area, so I can put a lot of these smaller items and things on that pegboard. So some of it won't get done until he gets home, but let me show you what we've got out here in the piles I've got, and then we'll load it all back in. We've got all our buckets. As Jason uses salt, he just leaves me the buckets. So I've got a ton of buckets, some potting mix, this. Let me show you that. Hold on. So last year, basically, this whole time that I've been doing drip irrigation, I've had an old Carnation Instant Breakfast Costco brand box, and I just throw it all in there, all the small pieces. They always fall out the bottom and get lost, and I don't know how many I have. So this year when I stock up, so sometimes when I go to Home Depot, I just grab bags of the things that I use most often to keep stock on it, because there's nothing worse than being like, you know what, I need to finish this drip irrigation project. I ain't got no tees, I ain't got no couplers, I ain't got no goof plugs, I ain't got none of the things, making sure that the mic's still rolling. So I bought this box at Home Depot. I think it was like 17, 18 bucks. So when I filled up this year, I organized it. So I've got like straight bars of the 5/8 tubing, goof plugs for the 1/4 inch, barbed couplers for the 1/4 inch, and a lot of them, so that I don't run out. I also need to pull some of this stuff out of here and see if I can put some more of my tools that I use for drip tubing in here. But this, I think, is going to be a game changer, because I know if I'm going to do drip tubing, I put this in my garden cart, take it with me. So super excited, super important. I don't know if it's super important, like it's not going to save the world, but it's going to make my life easier. So super handy. Yeah, super handy. I put all of my, what are those things called? Stakes. And you know, I've got a lot of those small flimsy bamboo stakes in here, and I don't care for that either. I think I'm gonna get different ones. There's my dog Max. So soil, tools, buckets, 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 lawnmower, and then we've got all of our drip tubing type stuff, and then all the fertilizer and bug spray and all that kind of stuff, organic stuff. I'm gonna put that, let's go up here, on this top shelf so it's less likely that my kids will get into it, and try to put some stuff around on the floor. I've also got to put my garden cart right here and put that back. So let's trickle it all back in here. Other than, like I say, what's going to go on this pegboard right here. There's also some T-posts in the corner here. So we'll make sure those make it in the bucket as well. That bucket's not living its best life. It's what our paint for the house came in, and so we're just reusing it. But we got plenty of buckets, but that's why I'm going to use it for that instead of like when I go to clean out vegetable gardens and stuff, I can use those. So let's put it all back in. Alrighty, so lighting probably looks a little different because the garage door is open. Little man is awake and we woke up, we had a little lunch. So we're gonna get back to finishing this. So resume. Time lapse, montage. Resume putting it away montage. Okay, so we've got it all done. We've got it all put back, everything where it needs to go. And it just, it just gets you really excited to go gardening because you got all your stuff exactly where you need it. Let me take you for a look around. I've got all of my fertilizers, insecticides, all that kind of stuff on the top shelf. And then some random stuff that I haven't used, those tomato cages in a couple years. And some other stuff behind them that I might use in the future, but I don't know, so I'm gonna leave them. The second shelf is mostly irrigation supplies. The third shelf is the things that I use most common because that's easiest for us to get to. So I've got my potting bench stool thing, not a bench, potting stool, and then my knee pad, my Biotone starter fertilizer, my watering can, my jar of gloves, and my drip irrigation supplies. The next one has got a little bit of potting soil on it, and then a bucket full of my tools that should be on this pegboard that shows up here one of these days. So shovels and things like that. I always magnetic my shears to the side here. And then the bottom is Jason salt and then saucers. I don't use saucers hardly ever anymore, not the terracotta ones. So they're down there where I don't need to get to them in the lids of the buckets. All the buckets are stacked over there with one bucket that's got stakes in it. My garden cart's right here in its home. My tiller is over here next to my lawnmower. So pretty excited about it. Everything's in a really good place, really easy to get to. I can grab the things that I most commonly use, put it in my cart, and roll. So super excited, super glad to have that done. So that's going to be it for this video. Super excited, super got spring fever, and this is going to have us ready to go. When we do get more stuff, we can grab it and roll with it and not have to find all of our stuff, and it's not all over the garage. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one, which should be planting spring crops. So super excited about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.